Hello, welcome to day 21, and in today's lesson we'll be looking at for loop. Now in the last lesson we looked at while loop. As a for loop, you can always run countless number of programs just without any condition. So in other words, grab a list, do something with it. First, to see an example of what I am talking about, let's call a for loop, of course, for keyword. Then let's declare a variable. In this instance, variable can be anything, so I'm going to use I. For I in range, now the range takes 3 parameters. The first, let's say 0, let's say 10, and let's say 1. Now what this is doing is, you say you want to count from 0 to 10, however, in the interval of 1, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, up till 10. Now, let's run a print function of our variable I. Let's see what we get. So you can see all the way from 0 till 9. Let's assume we change this to 1. It's going to start counting from 1. Let's assume that you say 2 is actually going to start counting from 2. So it's going to be like 2, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8. And let's see what we get. Okay, I think we can restore this back to 0. Yes, so now from 0, you can see you have your 2, 4, 6, 8, pretty much. So you get the gist of how the range really work. You can also read more about it to get more clarification. Now that we have that, let's see how we can combine range and also slice. So let me just do a print function and just say, in fact, let's copy this. I'm just going to call it range and slice. Okay, now let's perform a for loop. Let's just copy this. Then we want to just say range of 10. Let's give it simple. Then let's perform our slice. You can see where slice is becoming very handy. Now, if we run the same program, let's see what we get. So you can see you call your range, pretty much simple, 1 to 10, but you only just want from 0 up till 5. This is really cool. You can play around the slice that we learned, and what I said from the beginning of the lesson is pay attention to those little things, because those are the things that we are going to be combining to actually write our logic. So at any point, if any concept isn't clear, just go back to the video and rewatch. And if you still need more help, of course, you can chat me up or just try to Google things yourself. Now let's move on. It is also possible that you run a loop on a collection. Let's see. I'm just going to comment all of those. So loop, for loop, and collections. You can just say for loop on collections. Let's enable abbreviate list. Now we can still run this. Let me just copy this to save time. I will uncomment. Now this time around, let's use the range of, let's just even delete this. Let's use the range of our lists. So we can just say len, then call the beverages. So right now we can print the beverages, then reference our integer. Now this should print out all the lists in our beverages. So you can see yes. So if you ask me what's the difference between a while loop and a for loop, now a for loop doesn't check any condition, you just run it, right? It just run based on the range you specify. Now a while loop, on the other hand, does things until a condition is met. Now in this case as well, you can set in a condition. Let's say if you run the first time, I can say if, so we can do the same thing as well. We can say if this time around, let's just copy this. So we can run another for loop. If it's equals to, let's say juice, this time around, let's say juice. We want to say another print. We can just say we found juice. Then break. We can use the break statement as well, and it's going to break. Let's run it and see. You can see once we found juice, it just go ahead and break. So it all depends on the route you're going, right? But the cool thing about the while loop is while loop won't run until it gets to, in some cases, it won't run until it gets to juice, but it all depends. Just think about the scenario that works, right? If it's for loop, try it out, but just make sure that you're running a loops that end. As for for loop, you can see that we are getting the total number of the range is the total number of the item we have in the collection. Then it's going to run it all the way. And once it's done, it's just going to print out everything. In this instance, we just put break. If we go ahead and put break statement here, it's just going to break in the first instance. As you can see, it gets break. So the break statement allow you to break and exit your code at any point in time. Pretty much that's how we wrap it up on this one. I would advise that you check the description for the exercise and practice. Try it out. Make sure that you try it out. That's the only way what you've learned can stick. And that's how we wrap it up on this one. If you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our social media handles so that you can be notified every time we release a new tip. Until next time, I'll see you in the next one.